Welcome, guys, to another episode of Tech It Up with Cafe Cultura. It's your girl, Jayla, and I'm bringing you some of the best founders that we have in our local ecosystem all over the tech community. And today is no different. We have our friend Lalo here. Hi, Lalo.
Hey, hey
How's
everyone.
everything?
All good, Jayla. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to have you. I know you had a really exciting weekend, and we're going to touch base on that. Um, but let's get started with who is Lalo? What is your background? Where do you come from? And yeah, let's start there.
Sure. Well, hi everyone. I'm LALO IENSEN, co-founder and CEO of Divisi. I'm a former musician, so I studied music composition in Chile, South America, at the end of the continent. Yeah, that's an 8-hour flight from Miami.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
all. I didn't realize how long of a flight that was.
Yeah, but we're used to it because Chile is far from everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been in the music industry for over 10 years as a musical director, songwriter, session musician, music producer. And
Wow.
since I was doing all that, I started to notice some problems within the music industry, right? And the most common one was the IP side of things, like royalties, credits, how to register your song, how to monetize your music.
Yeah.
And I start seeing over and over that kind of trouble within the artist team. And it doesn't matter if you were indie artists or super big artists, it always get like difficult for musicians to get around it. So I started a company called Divisi. And what we do basically is we help musicians claim their royalties, streamlining 90% of the process with AI. So they
Wow.
can get paid faster and fair.
Yeah, I haven't been in the music industry because I did
Oh, really?
radio. Yeah, so I was in radio and entertainment, music. Worked for different labels, worked for different TV channels in the music industry, both in the Latin America sector and in the American market. And it's true. It is something that is very, 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 and even till this day, extremely common that
Yeah.
people aren't getting their royalties, or especially now with all of these tricky situations that we have going on with like TikTok and YouTube and all of these other streaming kind of sources that still create that revenue and still have a lot of these copyrights and things like that, and it's hard to keep up, especially when you come, you're a first generation immigrant, or you're a
Yeah.
first generation I guess, person in your family doing something in a creative space. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's really different too, because you can't go to your tia or your tío, or your cousin or mom and dad and be like, hey, so how do I get my royalties for writing a song?
Yeah, yeah, that's my case. My family is they're all engineers and doctors and lawyers, so I came from a very traditional family, and I'm the only like musician and artist in that sense. So yeah, you have to be aware first of the problem that you may have with this kind of situation, royalties and everything, so you can fix it later, right?
Yeah.
And most of musicians are unaware of it, right? So they keep releasing music and playing concerts and everything, not knowing that they should be doing a lot of paperwork and a lot of process in between that type of activity, so they can earn what they deserve, right? So it's basically a informative problem, but then a solution wise problem as well.
So what really was it, that clicking point for you where you're like, I need to solve this problem? Like,
Yeah.
was it something that really hit home? Was it a personal like situation did you go through? Or like many of us that see our friends kind of go through legal battles because of
Yeah.
something of that nature? Because it's true. I mean, I've seen plenty of my friends, whether they're composers or they're songwriters or they're producers, and they all have to fight in some way, shape, or form for the rights to their music, to their things, to their creative works.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in my case was that I released a song, like it was my very first song, like me as an artist, right? So it was super crazy for me. It was a great experience, and that song was synced to a movie on Netflix, right? So
Okay.
imagine like the big screen, first time song. it was crazy. I was super happy about it. But when I got the royalty check, I got zero out of it, and it was because I did all the paperwork wrong, because it's super complex for
Yeah.
like this kind of due diligence for music are not that easy. You have to do like some sort of cap table for every song that you put out there, and you have to split between musicians, composers, artists, and it's a complex paperwork, and that's why over $2 billion in the music industry goes unclaimed every year, right?
Wow.
So yeah, it's crazy. So I'm one of those victims, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man. There has to be an easier way to get my career around this, right?
Yeah.
So there wasn't in Latin America, so I invented one, and that's how Divisi was born.
So now, obviously, the dynamics, the politics in Latin America are slightly different than they run in the US. Is that something that Divisi has worked through or is currently working through?
Yeah, so what it changed from US to Latin America are that is that here you have plenty of institutions to collect different types of royalties. You got PROs, you got the MLC, you got Harry Fox. So there's that. But in Latin America, because the market shrinks a bit, there's only like one or maybe two institutions per country. That's
Yeah.
like a big difference. The other thing is like, yeah, copyright laws may change from one country to another, but in terms of what kind of documents do you need, for example, publishing splits or master split, it's pretty much the same, right?
Okay.
So you have to be aware of certain differences, right? Yeah. But in terms of how to split it, it always comes down to a negotiation between the parts involved and a document that it's pretty standard, which is split sheets, right? So we focus on that, and then we try to actually get the artists to register their work through our platform.
And in the process of registering, what is an artist getting covered? You know what I mean? Like, let's say you're a new generation, you're a teen or younger 20s, you really don't know what you're doing with your business, you're starting
Yeah.
out, but you have this talent to write songs. What what can we expect at a Divisi to help these artists out?
Well, if you do collaborate with some other musicians, composers, songwriters on a session, you first have to establish percentages of publishing and of master, right? Those are the two families that you have to establish, and it's always a negotiation. There's no rules, right? So, for example, if you, Jayla, do the melody and I do the lyrics, and we both came up with the chords, it always comes down to okay, 50-50 or not. So be
Yeah.
clear about that. Don't wait on it until it's too late, right? Because it happens that you release a song, because you can actually release a song without being registered. That can happen, right?
Yeah.
So be aware that from the very beginning, be straight with your percentages on publishing side. And for example, if you do are a artist, indie artist, and you're paying your own producer and your own studio hours and everything, you own the master of your music, and you have to be aware of that. Not only labels or managers can own masters. If you pay for the studio hours, for the recording session, for everything, you own the master. So be aware of that, because that's also
Yeah.
very important, right? But I would say that, yeah, keep it straight from the beginning. And what we could be of help for you, if you can actually in Divisi make these split sheets very easily, and you don't have to deal with DocuSign, you don't have to deal with emailing. So you go into the app, create a song, and Divisi displays all the elements that you need to properly register and monetize your music. So here you can
Wow.
do like split sheets of publishing, split sheets, master split sheets, digital royalty split sheets, and it's very easy. You just type in your name, your role, you add your collaborator, and you can add them through email, through WhatsApp. They don't even have to download the app. They can sign documents within WhatsApp, for example. So
Wow.
we streamline the entire process for you to get to the music part of it, not the paperwork, right?
Yeah. So what stage is Divisi in right this very second? Because I know like we were talking offline and now you're going you're a part of the Spark competition this weekend.
Yeah, it was
Um
fun.
yeah, and you were one of the top 10. So congratulations. Over 200 founders and startups competed in this competition. You got into the top 10, which that in itself is, I mean, just mind
Crazy.
blowing,
Yeah.
So what is the process? Where is Divisi now? Where has Spark kind of put the spark in Divisi?
Yeah, yeah, I feel the sparks. Yeah, yeah. So we're live in the iOS for iOS and for Android in the Play Store and App Store. So you can go
Okay.
download DVC for free. We are currently ending our open beta stage, so we can now go to market. And it's gonna be like a freemium subscription, right? You can go free or you can go plus DVC Plus. And yeah, yeah, we were this entire year has been like for us to learn about our customers, about the users, how they behave, what do they need, for example. So we are very very user driven scope, right? I always chatting to the users when they do a split sheet. I get a notification and I call them and hey, how is it? Did you like the app? So I'm all about getting to the users and give back to them. So yeah, we're deploying our solution here in the US as well, but we're still into this kind of soft landing stage where we can like learn. We're learning a bit more about the industry here, how to connect our solution to this kind of ecosystem, right? And it's all about the user learning how they behave and how they interact with technology. It's what it's our main focus right now. But for example, we are trying to now to connect with publishers and music managers that wants to streamline the entire process and organize their catalogs and everything. I would say that those are our two ICPs that we want to aim to in this next quarter. But yes, Spark give us like a good run this couple of weeks. We've been, well, actually last month it has been like sessions and coaching and everything. So we made it to the top 10. That was super, super crazy for us. We get to pitch in front of a jury and everything. So it has been fun. It has been fun. And I think that now we're going to focus more a bit client acquisition, and hopefully raise a next round very, very soon. We're aiming for a pre-seed round right now.
That's amazing. And once again, congratulations for being in that top 10. You kind of answered a little bit of my next question, which is where do you see Divisi in the next couple months? And obviously you
Yeah.
answered that with going into with music managers and publishers. Where do you see it in the next year? I mean, a year flies by. We're in what the founders like to call raising funding season.
Yeah.
So it goes very quick. By the time we know it, the holidays are here, and then 2026 is knocking at our door. So
Right.
what do we see for Divisi in 2026?
Okay. I think that in terms of product, we will be releasing this new stage for DVC, which it's less of an app and more of an agent. So we are deploying, as we speak, we are deploying Divi, which is our AI agentic that will help musicians. Will turn all this process, this complex paperwork process, into a conversational experience. So you won't need to have like any kind of knowledge about IP or whatever. So you can get guided by this AI agentic, right? And we hope that this will increase adoption tremendously, and also would give us an edge for what's coming. That in terms of product and in terms of like company wise, I think that I hopefully want to get to break even. I think that 2026 will give us that in terms of company wise. And obviously, I want to keep my team as efficient as possible. So most founder will tell you, and we want to grow and hire more people and everything, but not me. I think that we're gonna keep it small and tight, but we do are automating a lot of our intern process, right? So for me, I see Divisi as this super efficient and high impact team, small team, very automated, and hopefully dominate our initial market, with this Chile. And I think we are in a very good path for doing that, and being well established here in Miami. I truly believe that Miami is the place to be in terms of Latin music market, right? And I love here. It's like Latin America, but with dollars for me. So I'm very fond of this kind of environment, and I think that our main goal is to actually get our solution out there and be like well spread into this local ecosystem, so we can scale after that.
That's amazing. And now that you're getting out of the beta phase and you're getting into the next raise steps into funding and scaling, what is the best way to have angels, VCs, supporters, musicians, music managers who are watching this to get in contact with you to work with Divisi to help support Divisi?
Sure, sure. You can email me at eduardo@divisi.app. You can go to divisi, divisi.app, and sign a contact form. You can, no, just by email, I think is the best way. You can DM me from on LinkedIn, for example, as well. I'm LALO IENSEN on LinkedIn. So I'm always checking my DMs and everything. So if you reach out to me, be sure that I'm going to reply. No problem.
That's awesome, Lalo. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. And I'm really excited to see what Divisi has coming up, especially, like you said, the music scene in Miami is huge and the tech scene is definitely getting stronger than ever. So to see this kind of co-working in the same space is a beautiful thing. So
Yeah.
you could count on us here at Cafe Cultura at any time. We can't wait to get more updates from Divisi and see what else you guys got coming in the next couple months.
No, thank you, Jayla. I'm having my Cafe Cultura right now. And I'll be happy to tell you more, to keep you updated, and to everyone out there that it's doing music. Just be sure that you're following your dreams. You have your own path, and get it right from the beginning, and make it easy with DVC.
I love that. That's a great little quote right there. And then we're going to end it just like that. Thank you guys for another episode of Check It Up with Cafe Cultura. It's your girl, Jayla, and I'll see you next time. Bye.